Suppose if the condition is false, where the control moves to else part, and I'm going to display the code which is present in my else part. If I write same code again and again, what's going to happen? The length of the program is going to increase. 12 less than or equal to 10. But still, if I go with the do while statement, even though the condition is false, at least one time you're going to get the output. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new unit, and the unit name here is Programming with PHP. I'm your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So dear student, in this session, we are going to deal with another new unit, and the unit name is Programming with PHP. In the sense what? How we can able to write PHP scripting. Okay, fine. In this today's session, I'm going to deal with two programming concepts, that is PHP conditional statements and PHP looping statement. Without these two statements, we are not able to write any program. So why I want these two statements? Because I want to control the flow of the program. At the same time, I don't want to write same code again and again. Instead of that, okay, I just want to repeat the process. For that, okay, these are the two reasons I'm going to use conditional statements as well as looping statement. Anyway, let's start with the conditional statement. Why I want conditional statement? When some conditions are triggered, based on the condition, the action must be performed. Why I want conditional statement? In order to control the flow of the execution. Just imagine that, okay, if you don't have brake in your car, what's going to happen? You're going to meet an accident. Here also, without condition, we are going to enter into the unconditional flow. In the sense what? We are not able to control the flow. So, to control the flow of the program, I must have the conditional statement. So, conditional statements are used to perform different actions based on the different condition. So, as the name itself indicates that I want to write the condition. Based on the condition, I'm going to perform the action. So, PHP supports following conditional statements, that is nothing but the if statement, if else statement, if else if statement, as well as switch statement. Anyway, we already studied these statements in our C program, or in our Java program, or in our .NET program, even in our Python programming. But still, we are going to study in our PHP. So, the usage of the conditional statement remains as it is. Here only the programming style is going to change. The condition, usage, everything remains as it is, but the way of writing the program is going to change. So what is if statement? It's also called by the name one-way branching. So executes some code if one condition is true. So in if statement, I'm going to have only one condition. Then what about if else? I have two possibilities. Suppose if the condition is true, I'm going to perform some action. If the condition is false, but still I'm going to perform some action. So it is called two-way branching. And what about if else if? See here, okay, executes different code for more than two conditions. So in this one, I'm going to write two in the sense what? More than two conditions. So it is called multi-way branching. And at the end, I'm going to have this switch statement. There are certain times I have many options. but I want to select only one option at a time. In that situation, I'll go with the switch statement. Anyway, dear student, let's discuss this topic one by one. So at the beginning, I'm going to have the if statement. It's also called by the name simple if. So let me to discuss the syntax here. If I'm going to have the condition, okay. So, if condition is true, only one possibility. See here, I have the example. See, I'm going to write the PHP script. So, I'll start with, okay, angular bracket, question mark, that is left angular bracket, question mark, PHP. And this is my variable and I'm assigning the value 20. So, at any cost, okay, here my result must be true. So, I'm checking if number less than 100. So, what's my number holds here? That is 12, value 12. So, 12 less than 10, it is true. So, I'm printing. To display here, I'm going to use echo method or I'm going to use echo method. So, what's my output? That is $number. That's nothing but I'm printing the value. What's the value? 12 is less than 100. So, this is the simple example how we can able to use if statement in my PHP scripting. Now, I have if-else statement. So, as the name itself indicates that I'm going to have two possibilities. So, it is called by the name two-way branching. So, if, okay, I'm going to have the condition. If this condition is true, what I'm having? I'm having set of statement. Suppose this condition is false. So, where I'm writing? In my else part, I'm writing the false statement. Okay, to indicate it is true statement, I'll write T. Here it is false statement, right? So, F state, I'll write. So, see here, I have the syntax if condition. Okay, if the given condition is true, what I'm going to have? I'm going to execute the statement which is present in my true section. Suppose if the condition is false, where the control moves to else part and I'm going to display the code which is present in my else part. Now, I have the example here. See here. Okay, now I'm assigning the value 12. Okay, now what I'm doing? I'm dividing the 12 by 2. See here, what I'm finding? I'm finding the modulus. I'm using modulus operator. So, what's my output? Reminder as my output. So, 12 divided by 2, 6 are 12. It is 0. So, I'm checking 0 equal to 0. The condition is true. So, I'm getting the output. Number is even number. So, when I divide any number by 2 and if I get the remainder as 0, then I'm going to consider that number as even number. Okay, fine. Now, I have my third type of conditional statement, that is if, else, if. So, dear student, it's also called by the name multi-way branching. So, I'm going to have the if statement, and for this if statement, okay, I'm going to write the condition. Okay, if the condition is true, I'm going to execute this statement. Suppose if the condition is false, what I'm going to do? I'm going to write the condition once again, that is else if. So, I'll write the condition once again. If this is true, I'm going to have the true statement. Okay, else what I'm going to have? I'm going to have the false statement. So, see the syntax here. If the condition is true, what I'm doing here? I'm going to execute the statement. Suppose if the condition is false, where I'm jumping? I'm moving on to else, that is else if. Once again I'm checking the condition. If this is true, I'm going to execute the set of statement which is present in the true statement. Suppose if it is false, once again I'm going to check the condition. So, here the condition is true. Okay, then what I'm doing? I'm executing the statement which is present in my true section. Suppose if it is false, so this scenario is going to continue. So it is if, else, if. Now let me to consider the simple example here. Okay, this is the program to check the result is first class, second class, or distinction, or fail. So what's my variable name? Marks is nothing but the variable name. Okay, and I'm assigning the mark 69. So what is 69? It is just a first class. So I'm checking if marks, okay, less than 33. Marks is less than 33. Or if you want, you can modify, okay, you can make it 35. If it is NEP scheme, okay, if marks is less than 21, you can write. Then what is the result? It is fail. Okay, fine. Else, what's my marks here? 69. So 69 greater than or equal to 34. Else. So I'm checking once again because I just want to display the grade. So I'm using AND. Okay. So here 69 greater than 39. It is true, right? It's true. And 69 less than 50. If that is the case, and in the sense what? From both the sides I want to get true. Then only my output is true. I'm going to display D grade. Else, marks is greater than, okay, marks is greater than what? 69, and marks is less than 65. It's also false. Okay, fine. Next, the condition transferred to if else statement. So what's the marks? 69 greater than or equal to 65 and 69 less than 80. The condition is true. So what is my output? I'm getting the output at as B grade. Still I'm continuing. Suppose if that condition is false, once again I'm checking marks greater than or equal to 80 and marks less than 90. Suppose this case is true, then what's my output? B, that is A grade. Suppose if the condition is false, okay, then what I'm going to have? That is else. If once again checking mark greater than or equal to 90 and marks less than 100. So what is my output? A plus grade. Suppose if I'm entering some negative marks, then it is invalid input. So if I consider this program, what is my output? A. What is my output here? That is nothing but the B grade is nothing but the output. Okay, fine. Now I have the switch statement. So why I use switch statement? When I have many options, okay, and in that if I want to select only one option at a time, then I'll go with the switch statement. Use the switch statement to select one of the many blocks of code to be executed. So I have many blocks of codes, but at a time I just want to select one block and I want to execute only one block, then I'll go with the switch statement. Okay, fine. Next, I'm having switch expression. Okay, I'm going to have switch expression. See, then I have the case and I'm going to have the label and I have set of statement to be executed, okay, along with that break. Next, case 2, label 2, set of statement, then break. So it will continue, okay, then at the end I'm going to have the defaults section, okay, then I'm going to have the code block, set of code that to be executed. So this is all about the syntax. Now let's see the example program. See, okay, this is entire my PHP code. So I'll start with the HTML body. Inside the body, I'll write the PHP scripting. So see here, what's your favorite subject? That is Python. Now I check, okay. So I'm taking one variable called favorite subject and I'm assigning the subject name Python. Now I check switch favorite subject, okay, suppose it is C. What's my option? Suppose if I enter C, okay, then your favorite color is C or favorite subject is C. Else, suppose Java, then what is your favorite subject? That is Java. Now, suppose if my favorite subject is Python, then I'll write the Python. Suppose another possibility, I'll consider the colors. So instead of taking favorite subject, what I will do? Favorite color. Then I'll assign the value. Red, blue, green, okay, whatever you want. Then I'll check. Red. If the color is red, what's my output? The favorite color is red. Suppose if the given input is green, okay, and if my color is green, okay, what is the output I'm getting? Your favorite color is green. Okay, fine. This is the way I can able to use switch statement in my program. Okay, let's write the PHP scripting. How to write? It is, okay, question mark PHP. So I'll take one variable called, okay, favorite subject. So I'll take fav sub, okay, and I'm assigning the subject name called C. Okay, fine. Then, okay, I'll write switch. So what's my favorite subject? Favorite sub. Okay. K. Then I'll start with case C. Okay, fine. Then suppose my input is C program. Then I'll display echo it is C. Then what I'm doing, I'm going to break and this is going to continue. And suppose my favorite subject is not programming language. Instead of that, if I enter something colors and all, okay, then in my default section, what I want to do, okay, I want to display it as invalid option. So this is the way I can able to write PHP script. Okay, fine. Now, okay, in my today's session, I started with conditional statement. In that, I have discussed what is if statement, what is if else statement, and I have discussed switch statement. Now, I'm going to have one more important topic, that is PHP loop. Okay, fine. Loop in the sense what? There are certain time you have to repeat same set of code again and again. Instead of writing same set of code again and again, what I can able to do, I can go with the looping. So I can able to write the condition and what statement I want to execute, that should be written inside the block. Now, dear student, okay, suppose if we don't have looping statement in my PHP programming language, let's see what's going to happen. So if I write same code again and again, what's going to happen? The length of the program is going to increase. The complexity of the program is going to increase. And at the same time, it is very difficult to clear the error. Okay, these are the problems if we don't use loops in our program. Now, if I consider PHP, PHP supports while loop, do while loop, for loop, and for each loop. Now, while in the sense what? In while, at the beginning only, I'm going to have the condition. And if the given condition is true, then only I can able to enter. Okay, fine. Think that you're going to attend some party. And if you don't have pass, is it possible to enter? No. That is similar to your while. Okay, if the condition is not true, okay, then you're not able to execute. So it is called entry point or entry control loop. Now, what about do while? Do while in the sense what? Okay, execute at least one time, even though the condition is false. Think that there is no, okay, checking at the beginning. So you can able to enter the function, right? That is itself called do while. Even though the condition is false, but still I can able to execute at least one time. So it is called exit control loop. Exit control loop. Okay, fine. Then, okay, for loop. In one looping statement, I can club three statements. That is nothing but the initialization, condition, and okay, increment or decrement. When I use for loop, when I know in advance how many times I want to repeat the statement, in that time I'll go with the for loop. And when I use for each, when I have collection of element. So what is collection of element? That's nothing but the array. In that time, I'll go with the for each. Anyway, dear student, let's discuss the looping statement one by one. So at the beginning, I'm going to have the while loop. So the while loop executes a block of code repeatedly until the given condition is false. In the sense what? Okay, so it's going to execute repeatedly until, okay, whenever your given condition is true, you're going to execute repeatedly. Once the condition is false, what you're going to do? You're going to exit. Once the condition gets false, it exits from the body of the loop. So you have while, okay, and you have some condition. Okay, if this condition is true, what you're going to do? Repeatedly, you're going to execute the condition. Repeatedly, you're going to execute the statement which is present in this while block. When this condition becomes false, so what is the meaning? You're going to exit from the body of the loop. Okay, fine. This while loop is also called entry control or pre-testing loop. Okay, fine. Now see, I have the syntax while. Okay, I'm going to write the condition. If the condition is true, what I'm going to do? I'm going to execute the statement. Okay, now I have the simple PHP code. That is, okay, I'm going to consider the variable called n and I'm assigning the value 1. Now, while, what is the value of n? 1 less than or equal to 10, the condition is true. What I'm doing? I'm printing the n value. So, what is the n value? 1. Okay, then, okay, what I'm doing here? I'm incrementing the n by 1. Now, what's the value of n? N is nothing but the 2. Now, 2 less than or equal to 10, okay, it is true. So, what I'm doing? I'm printing the value 2 and it's going to continue. Okay, now think that, okay, n is 9. Okay, n is 9. Okay, I'm printing the 9. Now, what is the value of n now? When I increment. 9 plus 1, it is 10. 10 less than or equal to 10. Okay, it is true. So, what I'm doing? I'm printing the value, n value, that is 10. Now, I'm going to increment n by 1. Now, n is 11. So, what is the value of n now? 11. 11 less than or equal to 10. The condition is false. Okay. So, what I'm doing? I'm exiting from the while body. Now, I have do while statement. Okay, do while statement, it's going to guarantee that it's going to execute at least one time, even though the condition is true or false, it won't matter. But still it's going to execute at least once. Okay, fine. This is also called by the name exit control. What? Exit control or post testing. So it's going to allow to execute the statement at least once and at the end we are going to check the condition. So if I see the syntax here, I'll start with the keyword do. Okay, I'm going to have set of statement and I'll check the condition. So it is called exit control loop, or it's also called by the name post testing. So if I see the example here, okay, see, instead of considering n equal to 1, I'll consider n equal to 12. So what's the value of n? It is 12. So what I'm doing here, I'm printing the n value. So what's the n value? It is 12. Now what I'm doing, I'm incrementing n by 1. So it is 13. Now I'm checking 13 less than or equal to 10. But here what is the condition? Condition is false. But still I got one output, right? What is the output? 12. Okay, so 12 less than or equal to 10. But still, if I go with the do while statement, even though the condition is false, at least one time you're going to get the output. So, do while statement is going to execute at least once, even though the condition is false. Okay, fine. Now, I have one more looping statement, that is for loop. Okay, this is also known as, see, it should be used if the number of iteration is known. Suppose if I know n value exactly 5, okay, then I will go with the for loop. If I don't know the n value, first time I'll give n equal to 2, next time n equal to 10, next time n equal to 5. So each time n value changes. Okay, in that situation, what I will do? I'll go with the while loop. If I know my n value exactly, then I'll go with the for loop. In the sense what? When I know how many number of times I want to execute the statement in advance, then I'll go with the for loop. Okay, fine. This means for loop is used when you already know how many times you want to execute a block of code. It allows user to put all the loop related statement in one single place. See here. So I'll start with for. Okay, I have the initialization, I have the condition, and I have the increment or decrement. See, I am placing all three loop related statement in one line. Okay, if the condition is true, okay, then I'm going to execute the block of statement which is present inside the for loop. Let's see how this for loop is going to execute. So first it's going to initialize the value. Once the initialization is done, okay, then it's going to check the condition. If the given condition is true, so what's going to happen? It's going to execute the block of statement which is inside the for loop. After that, okay, it's going to perform increment or decrement operation based on the program requirement. Okay, once increment and decrement is done, okay, it's once again it's going to check the condition. If the condition is true, execute. Okay, then increment or decrement. Then check the condition. If the condition is true, execute block of statement which is present in the for loop, then increment or decrement. Once the condition is false, what's going to happen? The control transfer to remaining statement. Okay, so this is the way we can able to use the for loop. Now let's see the example here. Okay, see here. So what's my n value? N equal to 1. Over n equal to 1. Now I'm checking 1 less than or equal to 10. The condition is true. So what I'm just printing the 1. Okay, instead of taking 10, I'll take 3. Now I'm going to increment n by 1. Okay, n is 1 plus 1, it is 2. 2 less than or equal to 3, it is true. So I'm printing 2. Now what I'm going to do? I'm going to increment n by 1, n is 3. 3 less than or equal to 3, the condition is true, and I'm printing 3. So dear student, now, okay, if the condition is false, what's going to happen? Okay, the control transfer to the remaining statement which is after my for block. This is the way I can able to use for loop in my program. Anyway, okay, in my today's session, I started with conditional statement as well as I have started with control statement. Anyway, dear student, if you want to write any PHP program, then you must have to use either control statement or conditional statement based on your program requirement. Anyway, dear student, in my next session, I'm going to deal with arrays. Along with that, I'm going to discuss the type of arrays. Anyway, dear student, thank you for watching my session, and let's meet in the next session with more information about PHP scripting language. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.